What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you James's Nightman deck that he played for this week's Campus Championship. Let's jump into it. All right, so Nightman. What does Nightman do? Quite simple. Nightman has this really awesome form once per turn that says one of my attacks is going to get really big depending on the difficulty of the card, the biggest difficulty of a card inside of your card pool. As well as, he says, Response Committed Foundation, after I block an attack, a card does not leave your card pool. So I keep your card pool stuffed absolutely full. I lock your card pool down, and then because of the cool cards in your card pool, my attacks get even cooler, even scarier. And there's a card that came out inside of the World of Endines. Ha, what an old set. Inside of the Seventh Cross set that made Nightman very, very strong. And that is Dragon's Tongue. As TCG, we only have 2 Dragon's Tongue. We went to build this deck and went, we've only got 2, So we have 2 proxies. Our apologies. But this card is a 7 difficulty card that says, if it is the first card I've played this turn, destroy every other card besides our characters in our staging areas, and this ability can't be canceled, and its speed can't be modified. Well, the reason this card is so crazy in Nightman is because after I've blocked and I've stuffed your card pool full, not only is your progressive difficulty going up for each card that exists in your card pool, but my 7 damage, Dragon Tongue, is going to get really, really big because of the form on Nightman. This First Enhance says if it's the first card I play, not the first ability that I play. And so I will form with Nightman. Let's say you have a Dragon Tongue in your card pool and I left it there. I will take and use Nightman's form. I'll play my own Dragon's Tongue, and now it's going to get an extra 7 damage based on the difficulty of the card in your card pool. So there's a 5 mid for 14. It'd be a 5/6 on your block modifier because your Dragon's Tongue exists in your card pool. So with that said, this is the main combo of the deck, but we have to have other cards that support our game plan. And so we are playing 4 Withering Toxin. We've left all those cards inside of your card pool, and now let's actually do something with them. I can remove the cards in your card pool to draw X cards. So if you've got 3 attacks in your card pool, I'll remove your 3 attacks from the game, draw 3 cards, and then flip a card. And then this card gets very, very fast. It gets +2 speed for every card that's left your card pool. So it'll get +6 speed in the example that I just gave. There's a very, very fast, good utility card. It is a 2, and you are running a 7, so make sure that you are building the correct amount before you start trying to play these some greedy plays. Up next, we have 4 Nutcracker, and the reason we're playing Nutcracker primarily is this card is a slam. Nightman's form only works for weapons and slams. And so with Dragon's Tongue, we get to play this ability, but we do not get to play it with Withering Toxin, so make sure you keep that in mind as you are playing this deck. But it's just an all-around amazing card. I can block with it with Nightman to stuff a card and then breaker to them. In addition to that, it lets me draw a card. It has EX to use my momentum, and it just gets really, really big with its ability and Nightman's ability. It's just an all-around fantastic card. Up next, we have 4 Flail Strike. This card says if it's not blocked, choose a card in my opponent's card pool. It doesn't clear their card pool during the end phase. This is really good because it is a reversal, so I will block with Nightman and then play the reversal. But it's only really good if it's the second attack that they've played. Because if I block reversal on the first attack, I don't use Nightman and then they just block this. But if I use it as the second attack, I block with Nightman, stuff their first attack, and then use Flail Strike. They now have to choose to block it, or else I'm going to make that second card also not count. So it's a bit of a catch-22. It's also really good at leaving Night Flail, using it on my turn to keep a card that from their previous turn in there as well. It's possible that we can just keep locking the same card down over and over and over again. And the last attack that we're playing is double Power Flip. This card is in here because of a cool combo that I will show you in just a little bit. That just says add all foundations from my card pool down to my staging area. It's a solid reversal. It does not get the bonus off of Nightman when it comes to getting the extra damage. Under our actions and assets, we are playing double Know the Power of the Abyss. Discard the top 10 cards of our deck, make a check off of a 4 difficulty, add a reversal to my hand. Either a Power Flip or Flail Strike or Withering Toxin are all valid targets. Not to mention, it puts the speed of the attack that was just played to 0. So I'm pretty much going to auto block this, commit my card with Nightman, and then be fine. Up next, we're playing one stop as our last action. Response card pool. After I play it, just commit my opponent's character. So not only am I locking cards in their card pool, I'm committing their board as well. It's really, really solid ability. Under our actions, we're playing 4 Flail and Shield. It's got this really awesome Nightman response that says after you block with it, you get to remove it from the card pool and then draw a card. And so you play your Flail and Shield as the block, remove it from the card pool to draw your card, respond with Nightman, commit a foundation, lock their card in. So I've cleared my card pool, stuffed your card pool, and it also has this actually amazing form ability that stops my opponent from hoarding correct momentum. I form commit. My opponent adds the top card of their deck to their momentum, and then I get to choose one of their momentum and then put it in their card pool. So if I know that they have a high difficulty attack inside of their momentum, I'll just add it to their card pool face up. Or if I want to take the risk, the gamble, I can take and add the fresh one in and then add the fresh one out, and it flips face up into their card pool so that I can get my trigger off of Nightman. The next asset that we're playing is we're playing 1 Omega Sword and Elk Shield. If I block with it, their attack deals no damage. And then lastly, Omega Sword and Owl Shield. Owl Shield says that while it's in my staging area and ready, all the blocks that I play ignore progressive difficulty. Very, very good if I have to make some continual block strings. And it no longer feels that bad committing a bunch with Nightman in order to pass my checks because I'm not counting towards progressive. On to my aggressive foundations. We are playing 3 Fusion Refusals. This card just says add this card up to my staging area. This attack is +2 or -2 damage, and it is playable while committed. Great target to commit with Nightman in order to lock cards into the card pool. And then the other piece of the puzzle is we're playing Double Bastion Stance. Enhance your attack, add this card up to my card pool. Your opponent adds a foundation from their staging area up to their card pool. So the way that we play this ability is I've got my Committed Fusion, my Ready Bastion Stance. I lock a card into their card pool, and then I play my Power Flip. I use Fusion Refusal and to give this +2 damage. I use Bastion Stance to add one of their committed cards up, and then I add both of these cards back down to my staging area. So they lost a foundation because of Bastion Stance, and I was supposed to lose 2, but because of Power Flip, I lost none. Very, very safe play. I'll put this over here for now. Up next, a bit of flow. We've got Triple Sense of Morals. It's very, very good for the Nutcracker add-in to draw. It just doesn't count towards progressive. As well as, if my opponent does any sort of stunning, I can take and check a 4 and ready one of those foundations. My character has a response, commit a foundation as a cost on his character. And so if they stun me and I start blocking, I can commit the ones that have been committed by my opponent's effects, and I'll just re-ready them, and I'll forever have a good target to respond with Nightman. You're not allowed to commit Nightman while Sense of Morals exists. In the same vein, we're also playing 4 Hell's Reach. I can commit it for Nightman's ability or to pass a check, and then response flip ready this card, so it's like I got a free use out of Nightman. In the same vein, we very much want to make sure our Nightman can trigger. Endless Determination responds once per turn. After this foundation is committed due to a cost, Nightman's ability is a cost to commit the foundation, I get to ready it back up. And so if I've got 3 of these, I actually have 3 Nightman triggers that don't commit any of my foundations. It's like having 6 free foundations. Up next, we're playing 4 Folktale Storyteller. This card's really, really cool because of the timing of it. I can take and I can play my Folktale Storyteller, whether it be on my turn or their turn. And if I have at least 2 foundations, I can build it into my staging area face down. Well, because of how Nightman works and the timing of the response, after I block with the Folktale Storyteller, I can respond on Folktale, discard my top 3, build it down in my staging area, and then respond with Nightman, committing itself to lock the card in. So I kind of I used the block in order to lock their card. It's really, really cool. Up next, we've got Double Bakery Poster Girl as a defensive card. A playable while committed, great target for Nightman's response. Put this attack speed to 0. Only playable if they played a 3 enhances this turn, not this attack. So just a really, really solid card to make sure that I can get my block off. Oh, next we're playing 2 Guardian of the Spirit Sword. This card just says -2, probably -3 speed, and then if I want to, I can pick up one of those really awesome assets, either my Flail and Strike, or Flail and Shield, excuse me, or the Owl Shield, or Elk Shield is also a very fantastic target. Just really, really good options. Next, we're playing double Haunted by Loss. Destroy a committed foundation for -2 speed. Nightman's committing foundations, and so I can always make sure I can successfully block what I need to. Up next, we're playing double Know Your Objective. Enhance Commit for -2 speed. This card's fine. It combos really, really well with Haunted by Loss. One of the best minus speeds that you have inside of the Earth symbol are just Haunted by Loss and Know Your Objective. Commit for -2, Haunted by Loss, destroy my committed foundation for another -2. Up next, we're playing one Cool and Focused. This card's just pretty much an auto block. Hey, I need to make this block happen. I'll block and then use Nightman, commit a foundation to stick the card. We're playing one for Mother Russia. If they attempt to add a card to their hand, I'll add it to their card pool. Feels really good for my character that wants to stuff cards in their card pool, as well as I can destroy to put its speed back to printed, also playable while committed. We're playing triple Solemn Exorcism. This card's really good for blocking versus weapons. It feels really bad for my opponent to run into a Solemn Exorcism. I breaker to them, and then they have to keep that card in their card pool. One of the best tools to fight against something along the lines of Nuseong Meteor style. I will block, breaker to your Nuseong, and then keep that Nuseong in their card pool. One of my attacks is going to get +5 damage. Up next, defensively, we're playing one Refuse and Let Go. Enhance Commit, return the attack's damage to printed -2. Sometimes I don't even have to block with Nightman. I can just, put the damage back to where I need it. We're playing one Overly Dramatic in order to cancel some cool abilities. Because of the way that this card is worded, it is kind of a catch-all for a ton of really awesome abilities to stop them from being able to play pretty much the whole game. One Dark Side of Karma, just to response remove, cancel a thing, or flip, put a speed back to printed, making sure that I can trigger Nightman anytime that I need to. Double Pursuing a Vendetta. Response flip after Foundation leaves. I get to build one card in. Being able to just like build in a Dark Side of Karma or like a Bastion stance to use on my opponent's turn is just really, really solid. And so a very, very good disruption tool for my opponent trying to interact with me. And the last card that we're playing is one Protecting the Protector. Discard momentum after my opponent tries to interact with my board. I tell them to stop it. The best use for my momentum for sure. All right, and so there you have it. There is James's Nightman deck that he played for this week's Campus Championship. If you like this deck, make sure you let him know down in the comments down below. If there's anything that you would change, also let him know. He'd love the feedback. And join us out on Patreon, patreon.com/TCGUniversity at the $1 level. It's the best way to support the channel to get more awesome content like this to you. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching the profile, and stay learned.